Good morning. Good morning, you beautiful souls. It's been so cold. I swear, spring was just here. It's gonna be the last cold show. I think the snow was done in this area anyway, last right before the equinox, I guess. I don't think we've had a snowstorm since in this area. However, when I was up north, it was really cold, and today it's windy, but the sun is shining, and that feels so good. It is warming. I spent some time in a sauna this weekend, and yeah, I really wanted to like warm up into the bones, like sweat it all out. It took hours to, or not hours. You could only set the thing to 30 minutes, but it was at the 30-minute mark that I actually started to sweat. So I stayed in for probably about an hour the one day, and it felt amazing to get to that point. Uh, and I was hosting a Kambo ceremony that night too, so it was a nice pre-Kambo experience for that client. So it was a full-on cleanse, and it's a really great time for any kind of cleanse, like spring cleaning, emptying out your mind of like all the wonderful ideas that you have. Also the clutter and the stuff that gets like stuck in there and locked inside the body. It's a good time to release it all. You know, a really good time to start doing some of the cleansing in your life, purging in different ways, up or down, or through sweat, or um, yeah, it's also a good time, I guess, to work with the medicines, get to some of those deep layers, start shedding that skin, you know, because in doing this in this particular amount time period, you got to think in alignment with the season. So spring, a time of rebirth. We just had the equinox and the full moon. Full moon, time of release. Equinox for spring is all about rebirth. And now we're coming into the first new moon of this brand new season. That left us a little bit of a gap where we could still release. And so this is a really powerful time. You're probably doing this naturally without even realizing it, bringing some more intention to your days in this way. What can I let go of here? Is there is there a stressor? Is there something I want to say that I haven't been saying? Is there foods in my life right now that I'm either over consuming and need to stop, or some that I have recently and need to, expose of through a type of cleanse. Maybe this has been years of build up, and it's a good time to get into like a nice liver cleanse using dandelion root, something like that. There's a lot of options here, and it's a great opportunity. Come this new moon, which is on the first, this is a synchronicity, not much of a coincidence. This is what's been written into our future, the roadmap we have to work with. Um, yeah, it's a great time to really just be doing this work. And so Tristan committed himself to working with Kambo and doing his initiation, which means 3 Kambo ceremonies between the new moon and the new moon. And he wanted to do this around spring for his own rebirth. I'm doing this in launching my book, Rebirth. And, I feel anybody who's been a part of that in any way is experiencing that in their own life too. This rebirthing. Many of you watching this right now are seeing that in your own life just manifest naturally. And I guess what I'm asking you here is just like dig deeper into it, embrace it, embrace that. That's where you'll find the alignment and the connection that you're really seeking. It's where I've built my foundation for most of my life. And while I'm not, perfect by any means, and very much on my own journey, some things, take longer than I want to, and some things come more naturally than I expected. This is my own individual journey, and I want you guys to honor that in yourselves too, that there's there's always that balance, and it's navigating your way through it like the yin yang. My yin yang teaching, you've got the darkness and the light and the light and the darkness, and our job is really just riding that wave in the middle, riding it like the salmon do. Now, I love that. People do this hand movement for the wave. I do it for the salmon that's jumping upstream. I'll bring it up into the sky. All right, you guys. So I have a little meditation I'm going to do here, and then I'll let you know just some other updates of things that are happening. We can talk about the medicines a little bit more. Uh, let's really just take a second, ground in. I found this ball was right in this location, absorbing the sun today, and so I decided I was going to work with it. I brought it to the Instagram live too. However, they are not letting me post. I haven't been able to post for over a week. They let me go live and it showed that people were watching, but I don't know if that's true or if the number of people was accurate. But what I do know is they're not letting me post it. No posts have gone through, no shares, comments, likes. If I try to heart anybody back for commenting, there's not a lot of support from Instagram there. They just put it back blank as if it never happened. Maybe a few of them get through, but I don't know. I haven't been spending a lot of my time there, but I made the commitment to show up. So, what we're gonna do is start being I guess like proactive, but also like I don't know. We're gonna restructure things a little bit so we better utilize that time that we used to spend on Instagram because we're really not doing it, and we enjoyed this nice little vacation, not doing like not having that obligation because things just aren't working for us in that realm. But now we're like, yeah, let's better utilize this time, put more structure to it. So I'm excited to get you guys out like a new spring calendar and going into summer too. Maybe we can plan some of that out more. Um, when you're all comfortable there, we'll start with this. It's a beautiful ball. I did have it on the Instagram. It was just, it showed a lot better in that camera, which is why I brought all that up. When I'm looking in here today, what I've been seeing is the light and then the rainbow expand into the light and then come back out of the light. It's been very beautiful. Sometimes I don't see so clearly into these. Today it's just rainbows and light, swirling and moving with each other. So when you close your eyes, I want you to visualize that. Visualize your body. Use your third eye here, the projector screen. Your body's up there like it's some kind of light X-ray. What colors are you seeing as your aura? As you touch the screen, what colors are rippling out? Now I want you to imagine there's a white light coming up through the earth into your feet, tethering you to the earth. Strong, strong pull, a strong, strong foundation. That white light rises up into your root chakra and lights it. This light rises up, it also expands. And as this light expands, it penetrates every cell in your body, renewing it, giving it a rebirth. Lightens it. Now, imagine this light reaching up into your sacral chakra, your emotion, your flow, intuition. It is expanding, connecting, and it's rising, rising right up into your solar plexus, your intuition. I mean, your willpower, sorry. Still part of your intuition, right? But this is more about action. It's where we turn that little voice inside of us into an actionable step. We transmute all those emotions into something we can create. Solar plexus is all about taking action, having the willpower to do it, having those gut instincts, taking action, that wild animal inside. As you feel into this newfound confidence, light reaches your heart, bursts it open. With your heart chakra open, full of light, able to forgive, able to receive love, infinite, unconditional love. Now that you understand love, now that you've experienced it, felt it on a deep emotional level, you can share the love. As you share the love, you rise up even higher, higher into your throat chakra. Here, truth, communication, ability to express yourself verbally, ability to speak. As your throat chakra opens, receiving light, you're able to express light. You're able to express your love, your willpower, your creativity, your needs, your wants, your desires. You're also able to express what's coming next as you reach higher. The light expands, which is your third eye, where all this is happening. Live time, live action. It's where you see, you visualize. You're not doing the fear work, that foundational stuff in your root and your sacral, that emotional work. your willpower. Staying in that comfort zone would be the opposite of expressing willpower. And doing the same thing over and over again. Who wants to be doing that? There's so much to do in this lifetime. We're here for a long time. Long enough that we should be making the most of it, appreciating it, planning out how it is we can make the most out of it, the things we want to be doing, the ways we want to share, the ways we want to express our love. This is where instead of visualizing the fears, we're able to experience excitement as we visualize all of our greatest desires. As the light reaches higher and higher, it bursts out into your auric fields, white crystalline light surrounding you, covering you, protecting you, healing you, strengthening you. This is all understanding, it's all love, all expression, all connection. This is you, this white light, this crystalline, created creature. Let's bring our arms up one more time, up through the crown, down, cleansing your aura. Come to heart center, bow, in gratitude to your rebirth. Thank you for sharing that with me. Do love the chakra meditation. Tristan's so good at them now. Oh my God, he's like taken off into his own creature when it comes to these things. It's still nice to feel that connection to Reiki, that same one when I first learned about it. I still love these things so much. I don't, I don't have to do them, so I really appreciate those times when I get to. And Tristan's so passionate about that specifically that, you know, it's a great way to just take a load off of me than from feeling like I have to do it all the time. I've worked very hard in my life and I didn't expect to live until 30, I drank a lot. You know, I had the smile on my face, on my insides. I wasn't able to hide for long what I was feeling. And yeah, I'm really grateful at this point that there's been enough rebirths that I can really be excited about the future that I've got, about the long life ahead, of the calmness I have around stressful situations. In fact, I thrive and have even more drive in high stress situations. And I have an appreciation for that now. When you're in that all the time, it can be hard. But when it comes up and that's what you're doing, it's it's really nice to have that calm in that situation and to be that for somebody else too. And I feel that that's one of my reasons for being so called to these medicines too. Mushrooms, Kambo. I love the integration space. I really truly do. I love the nutrition space. I really, truly do. The medicines, uh, they've always um, called to me, the right ones at the right time. There doesn't need to be all the pressure of fads. Like, you find that in the nutrition world so much. When I was a student in nutrition school, studied hundreds of dietary theories. The only thing that really mattered was the understanding that we're also bio-individual and that we're all ever changing. And so you can really take the pressure off yourself by just saying, what am I meant to work with right now? What am I working with right now? Because guess what? Tobacco, caffeine, those are psychedelics too. And chances are you're working with these or something else. And guess what? Ferments are a type of mushroom. So if you're drinking, a lot of the drinking, it's not the same as ferments anymore, but originally they would be, and that would be one of the things that your body recognizes from your ancestors, right, in a cellular DNA, and maybe one of the reasons why it is a coping mechanism all of these generations leading up to you. Um, you still have a choice, and I did have a choice, and I chose to turn all of that off. I chose not to drink, and the medicines really helped me with that. So did nutrition, so did yoga, so did meditation, so did all these integration tools. And this is why I love the integration space, because it's my opportunity to practice and hone in on those. Um, attaching that to the medicines and opening up my throat chakra to the point where I can speak my truth about these things. Um, in spite of any fears that were there, because I've expressed them all in so many ways now. I've let them out of my body through journaling, through talking, um, through exercise too, through purges. With medicines like Kambo, through um, spiritual sheddings through of mushrooms and DMT, where you like totally leave your body and you come back a fresh soul. They're all really powerful tools that really important to integrate together. This weekend, a wonderful ceremony with Tristan. This was his second one, as I said, so he's got one more. He's going to choose the date when it feels good for him. With Kambo, there's always a fast before. Fasting is a topic that I'm going to be writing an article on this week, and we'll have out to you guys on the website, elementalgrowth.org, for next week, and we'll dive into it on the weekend. Um, we are going to restructure that a little bit, so you'll be able to ask questions live and things like that too. Um, but yeah, other than working with the medicine those two times, which I am gonna like leave those stories for Tristan live at 5 because he's so excited. But I'll share too, mushrooms have been part of my journey for 18 years. Kambo, pretty new, like 4 years or something like that now. Yeah, probably I was called to it probably when Finn was 2, and by his third. No, I was called to it at 3 and I did it at 3. There was a sense of urgency on that. So he was 3. Remembering now. So yeah, maybe like 4 years. And mushrooms 18. And it's nice that I keep getting invited back to a speaking retreat of distance. I've held retreats, I've held trip sitting, I've done trip sitting, I've held field trips, and I've worked in the hospitality and tourism industry for like a decade. This stuff is like so built in, but it's amazing what the technology allows us to do. Like I was able to speak at a retreat in the United States, and it, it was beautiful. It's like obviously like none of this video stuff is necessarily my comfort zone, but I've gotten used to it over the years. Um, you know, but it was like so amazing to be able to connect with new people in that way. I'm grateful for it every single time. It still blows my mind that this is the world that we live in. I'm such an old soul that all of this stuff still seems new to me and still surprises me. in so many ways. But I loved that I could show up in that way, that I could share, just three quick little tips in the integration space. Um, you know, I guess if we're gonna talk about like what this really means, how it all ties in together and integrates all these separate topics today, it maybe even comes into these three integration tips and how it is you're gonna carve out the time to make sure that you're doing all of them. Uh, One of them being true and authentic to your own individual process. Trust the process and believe that you're going to progress more and more each day. Don't compare yourself to others. If you're judging others, understand that, in a sense, you're also judging yourself. So, where are you doing that in your own life? Because we don't want to be projecting onto others these kinds of things. We don't want to be internalizing it either. So there is work to be done in that space. But also coming back to like, this is your own individual journey. Some things are going to be more natural for you. Some things are going to take you a little bit longer and maybe not go as fast as the person that you're looking up to in that space. Um, you know, number two here was beliefs. 99% of problems are mindset problems. We really want to be doing is building in better belief systems so our mindset can be a lot stronger. You can work on your mindset through your gut microbiome as well, and that can come from working with mushrooms, for instance. There's a lot of different things here, but I think one of the most important one is coming back to these beliefs. And a quick little exercise, if you guys want to run through it now, you can go grab a pen and paper. What time have we got here? Definitely. I'm gonna make these calls shorter. That's part of our thing. We're gonna start making them like 20, 30 minutes so that they can be a lot more precise and to the point, and eventually blossom out so that we're just doing live Q&A with you guys. Like we used to do that, and we stopped. you know, Things were changing. Things are always changing. Yeah, now we're gonna try them back out again and see where we're at. We do have new clientele. We're adding in new things all the time, so it just seems like there's more questions coming in, and it could be a more fun, interactive thing for spring and summer season. uh, More gatherings happening, and it'll be less load. You won't have to be here for a full hour. Instead, it could be 30 minutes, and maybe come the fall and winter, we'll extend them longer and longer again because people are spending more time inside naturally. When it's nice outside, like who wants to be doing this? Um, like sitting on because you can't see the screens with the sunlight, and it's already happening. Um, but Now that you guys have gotten a pen and paper, let's build out what this belief bridge is. Maybe I can even get one. So, how I take notes, you guys. I draw this out so that you guys have an idea. Maybe you can't see that. Failed experiment. That's all right. All right. So what you want to do is you want to write on the right hand of your page what your vision is, your future. It's sometimes hard to see that, right? Because if you don't have the bridge to get there, you don't know what's beyond. But here's the thing, you got your third eye. You can imagine. Just imagine. Imagine what it would be like if you were earning $10 million every single week. How would you be living your life differently? How, it's not about the money. It's about how would you spend your time if money wasn't an issue. Some dominators seem to make money pretty predominant on society. And so if we can take that out of the equation, if we can take that, our fear around this that's been pushed on us for so long and created an entire society, economy, you know, around this idea and these fears, if we took that out and let's say you had all the money you could ever wish for, how would you be spending your time? What would you be doing? How would you be serving the greater good? Would it be just being a stay-at-home mom, hanging out with your kids? Would it be working with the medicines more one-on-one, or leading huge retreats? Would it be in the garden? Would it be adventuring, hiking, traveling? Would it be, yeah, seeing the world? Would it be um, creating something new that's never been done before, like inventor style? Um, there's so many different things. Whatever that is for you on the right side of your page, draw out that vision. And that's a really good way to get there, is you know, if there was nothing in your way, nothing else you had to do, what would you do? What would make you happy? And for others, it might be what work is in yours to do. If you've been working with these medicines for a long time, you've got a pretty clear vision what you're supposed to do. This will break the dissonance up between where you are now and where you really want to be. So let's go to the left-hand side. This is where I want you to write where it is you're at now. All of the all of the things that you're grateful for, but I also want you to write out all of your biggest complaints, all the things that are happening that you don't want happening, all the things that aren't happening that you want. Write all of that out on the left-hand side of your paper. Thank you so much. Now that you got that, I want you guys to think on how it is that you're going to get from one side to the other. And I like to think of elemental growth as that bridge taking you from this crumbling, uncertain foundation across this bridge that we have to build to this big um, desire, this big goal, this big idea. All right. So we want to get from here to there. There's big gap. We don't know what's under there. Is it water? Is it lava? We don't know. How far does it go? We don't want to find out. What we just want to do is stay focused. How do we get from here to there? And there's going to be a lot of drama that comes up in this way. It's going to be people trying to, you know, get us to stop building a bridge. Just stay here with us. It's okay. There's going to be people that are saying, um, you don't need to build that bridge. Here's a better way. How about we fly and try to have their own ideas? But what you know is that there's a bridge and it's going to take you there. And that it's your job to build that bridge because this is your path, your specific individual path. Okay? So draw the line. Draw two pillars and a line connecting. Now you have the visualization of this. Now on the top of that, I want you to think about all the surface layer issues that might come up. What are the obstacles you're going to have to overcome to get to that? Is it going to be time management? Is it going to be, um, yeah, whatever it may be that comes up? Maybe it's going to be other people's opinions. I'm going to go just help Finn for a second. I'll be right back. You guys write that out and All right. Now, got out all the surface layer things. Maybe it's somebody that is going to try to persuade you in another way. Maybe to stay, maybe to try something else, try their way. We all know those people that MLMs and other like people who are really highly trained in sales, like it's good. The persuasion techniques, they're good, but it's always a test. So who's going to test you? Write that all out on the top of the bridge. Now we'll sweep that off later, but for now, we just want to get it all out on paper. Now underneath your bridge, we've got to strengthen these pillars. Right now they're just little sticks. So we got to strengthen these up. Maybe we put in some extra pillars if there's other important stuff that we need to overcome. Maybe we build it up with rocks, who like a bunch of little things, that over time it's like that's not going when we're building cabins on hills, that's one of the things we do. We build a cage with the rocks. This is the Canadian Shield, so a lot of rocks, not always the most even terrain. So it's yeah, a cage with rocks. That way, it's not the cabin's not going to sink, flip, fall down, go into the water, all these kinds of things. So, that works. They do it in bridges too, and it's for a reason. So that works. Also, what works is big, huge pillars. Some people make it like architecture, just art. It doesn't matter. Everybody's going to be different here, but we do want to change these sticks. We want to build a bigger foundation. The best way to build that bigger foundation is by taking all of these little things, these surface layer challenges, the stuff that are coming up, telling us we can't get to this destination, or that there's no way that that's possible. We want to take them and we want to turn them into this foundation. And one of the ways we do that in developmental growth is by turning them into affirmations. Another way you can do this is by putting them into action steps that you actually schedule in to your calendar. They seem like simple things, but the truth is, most people aren't doing them. So it's really important. Get them in. This is a belief bridge, you guys, and it's a wonderful, wonderful integration tool. I learned it from Joshua Church at the High Impact Coaching. I changed it up, added my own elemental growth technique, but I adapted it from him specifically, and it worked so well in my own integration. Um, However, like I don't even fully the drama. I don't fully understand his teaching, and I'm sorry, Joshua. Like I'm probably butchering it, but I loved the idea, the metaphor, everything beyond behind it, and I just, um, yeah, I brought it in with me into like my own practice for so long that it's morphed into um, this beautiful integration tool now. And it's a really good way for building out those affirmations to help switch your mindset so that those problems that you were seeing everywhere and repeating over and over and over again dissolve. And that's really a goal here. We want to be happier, healthier people. We want to be sustainable. We want to be honest. We want to be kind, and again, that's where it comes into it. The third integration tool I'll share with you guys is is our community. So community can be many, many different things to a lot of different people. Maybe you have a community in your hometown. Maybe you have, friends and family that you've grown up with that you're really close with, and that's your community. Maybe you're a part of the Elemental Growth Tribe. We've got our network for entrepreneurs. We also have our family group for, people working through mental and mindset issues and, doing the self-healing work on their body. And so there are many different kinds. There are Facebook groups, there's Telegram groups, like all these things. I'm not much of an advocate for Facebook. I'm surprised with all the knowledge out there right now. People are still on there. But I get it too. It was hard for me to close my account also. Um, and they did take contacts. But here's the thing, like when Facebook first came out, I was in groups and I met amazing people. When I was traveling, I would I'd go to destinations, I'd look in the group, like who's in this area. And we do that through Signal now, and there's like many, many other apps. Rocket Chat, Telegram, like there's so many out there. But I do get the Facebook thing, not judging, because I did that too, and it was great. The meetups, the same thing. I met amazing people through meetups. Um, I traveled before too, and I used dating apps. I wasn't dating the people and things like that. I mean, some I guess I did before, but mainly it was like, okay, well, how do I get to know people that are local in this area? And so I just downloaded. I can't even remember what it was, but figured out it was like a dating app. So there was like a lot of stuff you had to go through and just like dismiss. But I did meet some really cool people where it's like go off-roading, up into the mountains, and did like a convoy of tubes one time, like really cool adventures that I got to do through Facebook. As I said, like um, I met people like in the Amazon that would. One of them even booked me a hostel before I even arrived and helped me navigate my way into there, because when I landed, I was like literally in a field and I didn't know what a tuk-tuk was. So, yeah, you know, it was nice to have those connections. And we're in a very blessed and dynamic time in the world right now where we get these opportunities to connect with people around the world in all of these multitude of different ways. Um, Yeah, so community really important. If you want access to what it is that we're doing, I'll put the link in the description so we can connect on a call. We do a little bit of vetting before these, but many of you who are watching this likely already in the group. For anybody who's new, like let's just hop on a call and yeah, just shoot the shit. See what we got in common. See if it's the right fit for you. If not, like I'm a wealth of resources and I can at least point you in the right direction. Right, so for now, I am gonna let you guys go and yeah, go cuddle Finn a little bit. It's been a long few days, and um, yeah, I want to give him some love. He's been hanging out with my best friend's kids for like 3 days now. Like I see him, but he's not like present with me because the kids. And I'm used to him like loving me right up. So I'm gonna go probably do some cooking with him and some other things, build back up that bond today and probably over the next few days too. I love you all so much. I'm grateful that for you showing up. I'm really looking forward to getting out the details on our next events and how we're going to reschedule this online stuff as well, so that there's more balance as the seasons are changing. Also, more interaction, because this community piece with integration is super important. Let me know, I guess, too. How are you finding community in your own life right now? Is there resources that would be helpful for others that are maybe in similar situations? Perhaps your story in general could support somebody, or at least get you the answers and the community support that you need now. So let us know about that. Get in touch if you need. All the information again will be below. Thank you so much for your time today. I love you all so much. Bye.